It's Sunday, May 4th, 2025. Just running a couple errands here and just pulled over here. They're about ready to open up a brand new In-N-Out here right off of I-10 in Indio, just north of the freeway. Opening up a Raising Cane's over there. Both of these could be opening up at any time. They look ready to go. So more corporate restaurants. I will say this. I do enjoy it In-N-Out now and then. They always have good service. They get the orders right. The restaurant's always clean, and it's still pretty affordable compared to most places. And the quality of food, they've maintained that. Raising Cane's, haven't been to a Raising Cane's in a very, very long time, but they seem to do a good business. But so many places are closing. And so it's fascinating to see even more of these places opening while so many are closing. But a few things I wanted to talk about today. And we got looks like a big storm coming in. But a few articles I printed up this morning, and I'm going to share these with you. You know, we've been hearing so much about, trucking, the trucking industry, the trade war. Trucking is really suffering right now. This trade war continues. We're going to see massive layoffs in the trucking industry. It says here, first driverless freight trucks make deliveries. Pennsylvania-based Aurora Innovation has launched the service, which runs between Dallas and Houston. Uber Freight and Hirschbach Motor Lines are the service's first commercial customers. To date, the Aurora driver has completed over 1,200 miles without a driver. The company plans to expand service to El Paso, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona by the end of the year. And I remember just a couple years ago when they wanted all these truck drivers. We don't have enough truck drivers. This is the booming industry. Everybody needs to be a truck driver. Get your commercial driver's license. Everybody's making money. Yada, 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 yada. And now look at the trucking industry just a couple years later. I mean, I just remember it vividly. 2-3 years ago, they'd have these people on Fox Business, CNBC. We're looking for drivers. We're this company that we're looking for drivers. We don't have enough drivers. This is, this is where you want to be. And just 2-3 years later, all these drivers getting laid off. And now driverless trucks, AI going to replace drivers. A question I have is, what is everybody going to do for a job in this country in, say, the next 5 years? With all this technology, robotics, AI, we have tens of millions of people in this country that just walked in and they want a job. So you're going to be competing against people from all over the world. You're going to be competing against AI. You're going to be competing against everybody for a job. So how are people going to continue to support themselves when so many of these jobs are being replaced? And it's going to get so competitive. And as the economy slows down, people are they're going to take jobs that they wouldn't have taken just a couple years ago. Now let's talk about the spending bill. $1.3 trillion. Actually, it's $1.32 trillion. It's going to be the largest spending bill in U.S. history. How is this going to affect America? How will it affect you? I think a lot of people will lose. I think it's going to be extremely inflationary. It's going to signal, I believe, to the world that the U.S. dollar is on borrowed time. And we've been watching foreign demand for U.S. debt continue to vanish. You're seeing Japan, China dump U.S. debt. Who's going to buy all this U.S. debt? Ask yourself, who's going to buy? Who's going to buy all this debt? It's going to be the Fed. And isn't this just another form of quantitative easing? Isn't this going to be inflationary? For many, many years, we've been watching this government continue to inject money as soon as things get bad in the U.S. economy. And it usually works for a little while. We get a sugar high, we get a little bump, but it's all an illusion. And now we're really beginning to see problems. We're really beginning to see the cracks. And, just like so many people out there that have been making bad decisions for many, many years, they're now beginning to feel the effects of those bad decisions. When does America begin to feel the effects for its bad decisions of all this money printing, keeping interest rates way too low for too long, having the Fed, buy bonds, having the Fed buy mortgage-backed securities and just pump up a huge housing bubble? Now people can't afford to buy a house. When do the bad decisions by the Fed, by the government, begin to affect the entire country? I think it's beginning to happen. And remember, those decisions that you make today are going to affect you tomorrow. And for the last couple of years, people were getting free money and stimulus, and they just thought that the party was going to go on forever. And they made very, very bad decisions, going out buying cars. They bought short-term rentals. They thought they would never have to return to the office. They lived way above their means. And now look at where we're at. And people are freaking out. I watch videos daily. I read the news. I'm reading articles. I'm going to websites. I'm watching reaction videos. You can watch Dave Ramsey for 15 minutes, and you are gonna, you're gonna freak out with how bad people have gotten themselves into a massive mess. People better realize now they're very, very disposable. The sheeple are disposable. They're working for a company. Companies now are looking at the bottom line. And what are they going to get rid of first? They're going to get rid of you. They're going to get rid of people, the employees, the bottom line. Trim the fat. And where are people going to go now? Just a few years ago, remember, people would, I'm making 50 here, but somebody's going to pay me 70, 80 for the same job over here. But now those companies are getting rid of everybody. And it was easy to get a job before. Now it is not. It is going to get very, very difficult to get a job, especially a decent job. 17% of everything the U.S. imports or exports is processed at the Los Angeles port. 14% of everything that comes into this country is processed at the Long Beach port. So they're saying right now, the forecast is that we could see arrivals at the ports here on the West Coast down 35% within the next couple weeks. Less cargo coming to America means less jobs. Nationwide right now, as I started this video, trucking is getting slammed. 1 in 9 jobs in LA County. It's a big county. 1 in 9 jobs in greater Los Angeles is tied to the ports here, Long Beach and the Los Angeles ports. So if this begins to really, I really do believe China is going to sit back and see how this plays out. I think they want to see what type of pain they could put America in. So I think it's going to be very interesting in the next 2 or 3 weeks if we begin to see shortages, how the consumer reacts to that, what the prices do. How high could prices go on just some of the essentials that you need at Walmart? I don't know. We're going to see how it all plays out. What's interesting too is that Trump is saying that anybody that buys oil from Iran, they're going to slap bigger sanctions on you. China's buying lots of oil from Iran. So what does this mean? Are we going to sanction China again, even more severe? If they continue buying oil from Iran? I don't know. But I think that these shortages could be a reality here. Some people are saying it's just fear. It's not going to happen. But there's already reports that the ships are not showing up at the ports already, that it is really slowing down. Seattle, they said, is a ghost town, and it is noticeable here in Los Angeles and Long Beach. If this really begins to be a problem, we will go out in the next couple weeks to the ports. We'll check them out and film that. Here's another one today from Newsweek. Mexican sewage is flowing into U.S. It's closing beaches. It is causing the death of marine life here on the West Coast. It is getting residents sick. The Tijuana border, it says, is carrying millions of gallons of raw sewage right into the Pacific Ocean, and it's coming right down through San Diego, right into Orange County, right into LA County. Newport Beach and Huntington Beach right now have been closed down. San Diego County beaches have been closed over 1,000 days over recent years, it says. And Mexico continues to neglect its systems. So we see all of the fentanyl coming over from Mexico. Now the sewage continues to spew over from Mexico. It is really, really sad. Every day I read reports of the marine life, the dolphins, the sea lions, the seals, the fish, the birds dying on our beaches out here. Whales dead. And yesterday, if you didn't see my video yesterday, please check it out. All the trash out here in the desert, people are dumping. We got homeless people living out in the middle of nowhere, dumping their trash, using the desert as a bathroom. This is unbelievable what has happened to California. It is literally turning into a cesspool. But all the poor animals on the West Coast here on the beaches that are turning up daily now, just dying. Because of the sewage and, of course, the pollution from the storm, what happened in Malibu and Pacific Palisades, that all washed into the ocean. And, you know, for a state that seems so environmentally conscious, nobody's even talking about it, and nobody is doing a damn thing about it. If you're, you know, filming videos in Orange County, if you're at the beach, do a video, show us what's going on. I know German and Venice did one a couple weeks ago. Do a video and show us what's going on with these beaches closing down and what's happening to marine life and, you know, people getting sick. This is just awful. It's really, really sad. Here's another sad one. It's coming from the Free Press. A fifth of American adults can't read. 48 million adults in the United States of America read at or below third grade level. You know, people will say America's not collapsing, we're doing great. 48 million adults in this country are reading at or below the third grade level. They can't even read a dinner menu. We're becoming a very illiterate nation. I can tell you this. China is making sure that they're educating their people. I doubt they have a illiteracy rate like the one we are seeing here in America. But once a nation that bragged about its education system, its schools, colleges, universities, now we are really becoming the laughing stock here. Are we really, really prepared for major, massive events that are going to happen globally? Are we really prepared to deal with China? Are we really prepared to deal with BRICS? We can't even read. And yet people talk about we're powerful, we're rich. No, we're bankrupt. We're $37 trillion in debt. And that's just what they're telling us. Yet people believe everything they hear. They've been so brainwashed since they went to, you know, grade school, junior high, high school, especially college, where they were indoctrinated, and they believe everything is fine. I was watching some of the military coming out yesterday, and they were saying that a lot of the chips in our fighter jets, our F-18s, in our military ships, those chips came from China. And they're very concerned that China could just shut our F-18s off in the sky in midair, shut our ships down, because they can control these chips. How in the world would a superpower like the United States of America think it was okay to have its military chips produced in communist China and think that there would be no ramifications, that there would be no threat? I mean, who is making these type of decisions? And everybody thinks that everything's fine, we're safe, we're the most powerful nation, we're bankrupt. We just lost an F-18 that fell off of a carrier, last week in the Red Sea. The same ship hit a merchant ship this year. You know, it's just one thing after another. And all of these guys are saying that if we got into a world war, we have 7 days of munitions. 7 days. That's the amount of munitions. That's how long it would last before we were out. Plus the strategic petroleum reserves, which we're trying to restock now, but they're saying that could take up to 3 years. So we are very vulnerable as a nation. These things are a national security risk. People should be alarmed. Our leaders should be alarmed. Our politicians, people in the military should all be alarmed. We pay this gross amount in taxes, and this nation can't even protect itself. Jeff Bezos disclosed his plan to sell up to $4.8 billion in Amazon stock. What does he know? Why is he doing this? Does he need the money? Why is he cashing out? Does he know something's coming? Comment down below on any of this stuff. And let me know, do you know, or yourself, anybody that's been laid off, that has lost a job, hours being cut back? Have you seen this firsthand? I'm hearing a lot of people getting their hours cut or just losing jobs. What's the plan if you lost a job tomorrow morning, Monday? God forbid, you or a spouse loses a job. What's the plan? Do you have something to fall back on? You know, for years we've been talking about this. Put cash away, have a reserve, get the debts paid down. You know, be ready for a bad day. And the people who are completely unprepared, those are usually the people that say this is, doom and gloom, fear mongering. Those are the most unprepared people. Those are the people that are most at risk of losing their job, because they're going to go into chaos. They're going to go into crazy mode. They're not going to know what to do because they have no money saved up. They're not prepared. The person who has maybe, 3 to 6 months of reserves put away, you can breathe tonight. You have some time to find something. You don't have to go into panic mode. The people who have nothing put away, the bills are coming in. They're coming in every day and you have nothing put away. You're going to be the people going into panic mode. And you're typically the people that would say, that would never happen. This is doom and gloom. This is fear mongering. You don't know what you're talking about. Those are the people, the most unprepared people, because they know deep down they're getting very, very scared right now. So they continue to lash out. Look, don't spend your time lashing out, calling me names. I'd much rather you spend time preparing, putting some money away, and waking up to what's happening, because I don't want to see you out in the streets. Go to my video yesterday. You're going to see people who have cars, who are driving to work, living in shacks, living in 50-year-old RVs, living in tents. That's how they're living, and yet they're still going to work. They cannot afford to put a roof over their heads. You do not want this to happen to you. And again, anybody sitting out there that wants to troll me, that's fine. I pray to God this never happens to you. I remember the trolls years ago that would laugh at the homeless people. They would laugh. They deserve it. They would make fun of them. Those people have really disappeared, because those people now are sitting in the same shoes wondering, hey, if I miss a paycheck or I lose my job tomorrow, I'm in big trouble because I have $18 in my bank account. And, my Netflix bill's coming in, my car payment's coming in, the credit card's coming in, the rent's coming in, utility bills are coming in, the phone bill's coming in, you name it. It's all coming in. My debt, buy now, pay later's coming in, $18 in your bank account. Ain't so funny now, is it? China unveils its military mega project. Satellite images reveal construction of the largest military hub on Earth, spanning over 1,000 acres. Again, I was watching this thing on C-SPAN yesterday with the Defense Department, these guys in the military, talking about, we have problems. And that China has been making chips for our military. This is a big problem. And these are military guys this week on C-SPAN from the Defense Department talking about this. It does not make you feel very, very comfortable. I'll tell you that. We can't even get a house built in Altadena after the fire, okay? China's building and constructing a military hub that spans over 1,000 acres. We can't even get a house built in Altadena right now. This thing's been sitting here for months and months and months. Literally, it takes a year to get a restaurant open. And I don't know when it's going to open, but everything takes so long to get done, especially in California. But really, in America, it just takes too long to build a bridge, to build a road, to do anything. Yet China, look, I'm no fan of China. I certainly don't want to live there. This is not a nice government, I'll tell you this. What they do to humans, what they do to animals, as I've said many, many times, I despise them. But I'm sure there's some very, very nice people there. I just don't like their government. But you got to hand it to them. man, they know how to build. They get things done. They get things done fast. And we better take a page out of their book, because they took all the pages out of our book. And I don't know what happened to America. All the bureaucracy, all the red tape, too much government in business. China just gets things done. They just do it. And if we don't take a page out of their book now and get things done, we're going to be in very, very big trouble. We're in big trouble right now. You better admit that to yourself. This country is in big trouble. Here's where your future jobs are, right here. In and out, 20 bucks an hour. Cane's probably the same, 20 bucks an hour. These are the new careers in America. Fast food, Arby's, In and Out, Starbucks, Cane's. These are the careers. I mean, if you look at the job numbers, you know, where are the jobs at? It's in leisure and hospitality, service sector. You know, if you can make a burger, you can make a coffee, you can make a sandwich, you can fry some chicken. Those are the new careers in America. Are they right? Were they right when they said you'll own nothing and you will be happy? You'll work, you know, 20 hours at In and Out, and then you could go work 18 hours over at Cane's and call it a week. And it'll be a bunch of people living in the same house, paycheck to paycheck. And that's the new American dream, I guess. Really, really sad. Big storm coming in. Big storm coming in. I'm going to leave it there today. Comment down below. If you didn't see yesterday's video, please check it out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it. Share my videos all over the place, and make sure you subscribe. Talk to all of you soon.